Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and through you to the members, I rise in opposition to this consolidated amendment, and in particular to the inclusion of Amendment 1, which would greatly expand the Housing Development Incentive Program, also known as HDIP. HDIP offers generous public subsidies to for-profit real estate developers, and so I want to be real clear about how this program operates. We're saying that we have to take state dollars and subsidize for-profit housing developers to build not just market rate housing, but what has often been described as above market rate housing. I want to acknowledge that I have the deepest respect for the gentlelady from Fall River, to the gentleman from New Bedford, and to all of our colleagues from the Gateway Cities Caucus. But we know that several of our colleagues from the Gateway Cities have concerns with this proposal. We know that city councilors from Gateway Cities have expressed concerns about this proposal. We also know that many of the leading affordable housing advocates, people like the Massachusetts Law Reform Institute, have expressed real concerns with this proposal. For Cambridge and Somerville, the two communities I represent, the HDIP program doesn't do anything. Our communities are begging for the opportunity to consider rent stabilization. Our communities have been working for years asking for the chance to implement a local option real estate transfer fee. Certainly, I welcome housing production of all kinds, and so to the extent we've heard from our colleagues that this can increase housing production, that's something I think we should all welcome. But for my constituents, and I have heard from constituents who are raising concerns about HDIP, it's hard for me to justify public dollars going to for-profit developers to build largely market-rate housing. Some of the key findings from MLRI, when they did a big study on the HDIP program, they found that there's no affordability requirement. And as a matter of fact, they found that only 80 out of 4,085 HDIP units were at all affordable. So our public dollars are going to produce this for-profit market rate housing, and according to MLRI, just 80 out of 4,000 or more units were affordable. There's also complaints about uneven distribution of funds. You know, we talk about gateway cities. Not all of our gateway cities are the same. Some of them have the orange line, such as Malden. Others, Pittsfield or others, very different. So there are concerns that these funds aren't distributed in an even fashion. There's a concern that there's no requirements for family housing, that there are often no local benefits or protections, and there's concerns about affordability. According to MLRI, they said, we understand HDIP's goal of encouraging market rate housing in gateway cities that are unable to attract developers. However, our concern is that the program, which is funded with tax dollars, does not support a reasonable share of affordable units and does not equitably distribute these tax credits to the cities most in need. In conclusion, Mr. Speaker, we know we're facing an ongoing housing emergency. This is an emergency without any precedent in the Commonwealth. Never in the history of this state has affordable housing been this out of reach to this many people. Never in the history of this state, in this Commonwealth, has homelessness been as pervasive, and it appears to only be getting worse. What this means is that this ongoing emergency demands comprehensive action by our legislature. I am open to supporting a version of HDIP. I certainly welcome the potential to get new units, but I believe we have to do with the housing issue what we've done with so many other issues. Those days when we did comprehensive criminal justice reform, police reform, when we did legislation to get to the path to net zero, or when we did big legislation to address reproductive rights. We have to do the same thing on housing. We have to take comprehensive action, and a version of HDIP could be a part of it, but we also have to have things that can address all of these other issues. And so I appreciate you hearing my remarks, and with that, I'll be respectfully voting no on the consolidated. Thank you so much.